Today on the channel, like a good soldier, we keep on splicing with G.I. Joe Classified series, Albert Alpine Pine.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got one of my main men. We got old Alpine and Albert Alpine Pine. But for all your Alpine needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $99 does ship free, flat rate $7.95 shipping. Under 100, gotta get a deal out there. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get to go to Entertainment Earth for this one, as I did hit a local Target store, and there he was. Alpine was just chilling on the top shelf, of course, like Alpine would do, just chilling there, ready to come home with me, and that's exactly what I did. And I guess I did get a deal. Used my red card, saved 5%. How about that? But Alpine making his entry into my collection here, and Alpine was one that was sorely missed from my childhood 3 3/4 days. Loved Alpine in the cartoon. Always wanted his figure, never did get it. And it was always interesting to me, he never joined like a Night Force or a Tiger Force, at least to my knowledge. I don't remember that ever happening. So he was always kind of a white whale, like a mutton junkyard. And luckily for me, I got them part of the Slaughter's Marauders later on. That's why I did get to have them in my collection. But Alpine never really got a re-release, which was always strange, and he was always a big part of the cartoon, especially the first couple of seasons. Him and his good buddy Bazooka, of course. Everybody loved Bazooka. Old Don Fry himself, or at least should have been in the movie. In Alpine, a little comedic relief, and then later on in the series, kind of felt like Leatherneck and Wetsuit kind of took over that. Bantering buddies there, of course, we'll never forget. But of course, Alpine, he's going to keep splicing.
Watch out! Keep splicing!
No, it can't be! Oh, brother, you are bad luck.
Hey, you're not exactly a rabbit's foot yourself.
Never forget G.I. Joe the movie. You got Bazooka, you got Alpine, you got Gung Ho. They're watching. They're watching over that Nemesis Enforcer. The Joe team somehow miraculously captured that Nemesis Enforcer, and they're guarding him. They're watching it. They're making sure nobody gets in there. But what happens? You guys know. You've seen the movie, and if not, you better watch it. That no-good Falcon, of course, Falcon, which equals Duke. As we do know, Duke put Falcon in things he shouldn't be handling. He's sitting there trying to woo Jinx. Jinx doesn't want anything to do with him. Oh, if he can't get through here, he's got to get through that. And then finally, we got a couple of good men in Gung Ho, Alpine, Bazooka. They can't get through that. Well, what happened? The Dreadnought Serpentor marched right through there. And then old Falcon off to the races doing his old thing, trying to swoon Jinx. Didn't work. Didn't work either way. And he's like, oh my gosh, Jinx, you're bad luck. Trying to blame it on Jinx when we all know it was Duke's fault at the end of the day. Duke should have never put Falcon in a position to even watch monitors. He couldn't handle that. Duke putting him at the top of the house, one of the greatest world security concerns with Nemesis Enforcer in there. And this is what happens. Once again, Duke, terrible leader for the Joe team. Flint should have been in charge, and I guarantee after that night, Gung Ho, Alpine, Bazooka, they'd be on board with that. But I digress. I digress. There you go. But let's take a look at the packaging here. We're going to do it like we do all the other ones here on this channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. But there's old Alpine in the package here. Like I said, a classic Joe. Happy to have him in the Classified series here. Joe logo. Crazy name. I don't remember that. Now, once again, I didn't have the figure as a kid, so I didn't get to see the file card, but crazy. Albert Alpine Pine. What a wild name. Wild name. It was like he was built for this job is what he was like built for there. There he is, getting ready to climb the mountains. He's a mountaineer, really, at the end of the day. Number 133 on the bottom for those keeping track at home. QR code 133 over there. And then a little bit of glamour shots going on. Some trouble bubbles giving him trouble on the side of that mountain. Then, of course, the jibber jabber, the usual stuff. Then we get with the old Classified series. But let's get old Alpine out of the package. see what's going on. Got that beautiful Joe blue. You know we're here for that. See you later. Goodbye. Plastic Prison Alpine. He came to party. He came to climb a mountain is what he did. All kinds of accessories with him here. We're going to dive into all of it. We're going to get him out of the package. No twist ties here. Todd McFarlane on the couch. Back again. Back in the saddle again like a young Aerosmith is one Todd McFarlane. He's been missing in action for a while. He left in a huff. We'll call it a huff, Todd. And now you're back on the couch, ready to party, ready to hang out, and ready to check out a G.I. Joe unboxing. And we got these goggles, which are very important to Alpine, as you guys do know, I'm sure. Locked in here with some super tape. Todd, I'm going to take this to the lab, this tape. Pretty sure this is Cambodian tape on this one here. You'll definitely want to follow up with that, of course. And man, it's extra sticky tape. Extra sticky tape. There it goes. See you later down through the legs. That's the worst see you later of all time. I gotta redo that. Come on, what are we doing? Todd, coming at you. See you later. Goodbye. All right, let's get down to business. I guess we'll start with these climbers glasses. I don't know, is that what they are? I don't know, but they're like clear lenses, almost looking like clear lenses. Black strap there. Of course, you got the strap around because if you're hanging upside down, you don't want those falling off your face. You got to keep them locked in there. Of course, old Alpine. Diving into this one a little bit more. We've seen this weapon in the past. Can't remember. Did we see this with Big Ben? I can't even remember at this point. It's been hard to keep track of some of these Joe things, as we do know. But you do get the... Does it go on here? Yeah, it should go on here, but it's not fitting. Maybe I just got to work it in there a little bit. But you do get the little arrow out the gun here. Of course, really good for Alpine. We'll never forget him shooting up onto a trouble bubble and swinging around, doing all kinds of things like Snake Eyes and him in the opening of the Joe movie. All black over here. Got a little bit of brownish, orangish color right on the end. Very cool, ready to go for Alpine. Of course, when I was a kid, he'd be shooting that right into a chest of somebody. Not up onto a mountain. He'd be blasting somebody right in the chest with one of those. Being a little like a scorpion. Come over here. Get over here. He'd be pulling one of those things. And of course, Alpine, ready to climb the mountain. You got the real rope on this one here. Grappling hook. Got to have this for Alpine, of course. Never forget as a kid, watching Alpine. I'll never forget. So this is story time with Kyle right here. I had to have been maybe 3 years old or so watching the Joes, of course, as a 3-year-old should be doing. And Alpine went through a window in one of the episodes, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So what did little Kyle do at 3 years old? He went full steam ahead straight through a window, and unfortunately it didn't answer very well to Kyle. And you guys can't see it, but I got a permanent scar right over here. I had to get like 12 stitches or something like that. I went into one of those window cranks you crank open the window with, went straight into one of those, busted myself open, but they said like a millimeter or whatever, I would have went right through my eye, and I'd be wearing a cool eye patch right now. So maybe the world missed out because everybody loves a guy in an eye patch. Let me tell you, one time I wore an eye patch around to the bars, and man, the ladies all over me. It's that eye patch love. They love a pirate. Could have been me, but I do got a wicked scar right here that is really cool that all the ladies love. Just ask my wife, of course. So we do got that. We do got that little story time. We do get some, what are we going to call these? Like grappler poles? I don't know. Mountain poles, something like that. But it is a little like kind of a blade on the end. It's like he's climbing up like an ice mountain or something like that. He's climbing up there. So we do got that. Got 2 of them. Makes sense here. You got different colors here. You got the black. You got the green. You got some orange. You got the silver in the blade. Very cool. Ready to go. Ready to take on any mountain is old Alpine right here. Put the hat over there, and then we do get a little blaster gun, a little machine gun action. He's ready to go. He's ready to blast. Got the little magazine, of course, clips out in G.I. Joe fashion. It is Mountaineering Monthly. Makes sense to me. I guess he's trying to keep up on the latest and greatest hiking and stuff like that. Black weapon here, little green accents, ready to go. Ready for Alpine. Now we're going to dive into old Alpine himself. And of course, Alpine back in the day, the helmet, or the hat more like it, I guess this hat right here was not removable. And whenever I close my eyes, like I do many a night, and I think of one Alpine, I think of him with his hat on. So of course he'll have the hat on in my collection here. Got that little insignia there in silver, gets the black and green. On brand, matching that hat, and matching the outfit here with old Alpine. Now, this isn't exactly what I think of Alpine. I think of Alpine from the cartoon, obviously, as probably most people do. It doesn't quite look like him, but of course we know the Classified series. It's a reimagining, taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a dash, just a sprinkle of the other, as we know. But I wouldn't be able to tell you this is Alpine if somebody handed me this, and I don't know if anybody would, but it still looks okay. You got the darker skin tone color, got a mustache you could set Billy D. Williams' watch to if you needed to. Got 2 caterpillar eyebrows up there. Got the hair kind of slicked back. Just a good-looking guy, a suave guy. Looks like he'd be drinking some Colt 45 possibly with Lando at the bar. You never know what him and Billy D. would be up to. but looks good, all things considered. Now, he does got the little rope over the top of him here. Very classic Alpine. Alpine always got a rope, always ready to climb a tree, a mountain, an iceberg, whatever he's got to do. So I do like that. Got the green jacket over the top. We're seeing a pattern here with all the black and green going on. You got a little bit of forearm guards on the side as well, looking nice. Got the black gloves. Of course, you're climbing these mountains. You got to have some kind of gloves to support yourself, of course. You got a white shirt underneath. And what does this shirt say? It says Idaho. And I believe he is from Idaho, if I'm not mistaken. Idaho, Idaho. That's the thing, of course. He's going to get some potatoes while he's out there. Some good climbing out there in Idaho. So he's repping Idaho as the state. Good for him. Got a little harness around his waist. Tons of carabiners. Not just for hippies anymore. You can climb a mountain. He's got all these carabiners ready to go, ready to hook on if he needs to. Got little holsters in the back here. I don't think you can really store anything over there, but he's got some of that. Got a little pouch in the back as well, probably for probably some beef jerky and some trail mix. Isn't that what these guys like? They love a little trail mix. I think that sounds right. I think it fact checks out, Todd. Todd helped me for the couch. It checks in his math. So probably some trail mix in this pouch right here. Tan pants, got some green pockets on the side, looking good. Green boots, black. No real storage, no backpack. It's kind of weird. You're climbing mountains and stuff. You think he'd have some gigantic backpack where you just live in the wilderness for years if he needed to. Living in like a cliff with a goat or something if he had to. But no backpack for Alpine. I'm a little surprised at that, in all honesty. I don't think I threw it away. I don't think there is a backpack here. So a little bit strange if you ask me. I feel like he should have had a backpack along the way. But I do like a lot of the stuff that's going on here. I do like some of these carabiners and stuff. He really feels like a mountain man, a mountaineer. He's ready to climb. He's ready to take it to the limits, of course. He's just got to get out of the hospital thanks to that no-good Falcon. And by proxy, of course, that no-good Duke. Of course, Duke. Always comes back to Duke. I hate it, but somebody's got to tell this truth. Somebody's got to do it, and that's what this channel's for, is to break the silence of things. It's almost like the Me Too movement. It's very close, of course. It's the Duke movement. All these years later, I'm the only one willing to stand up and shout like a young Ronnie James Dio is what I'm doing right here. But a good Alpine, I do like this one. Real quick, arms do go around for us. A little bit of butterfly in there, of course, bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows playing the hits, hands back and forth, side to side. Waist articulation plus ab crunch. Head articulation, a little bit of neck in there, maybe, yeah, a little neck movement there. Of course, hat removal as well, we know that. We do get those Alpine splits. Oh, man, look at that. He's ready for the pummel horse. He's ready to take on the world. He's ready to take on Nemesis Enforcer. Keep splicing, Bazooka. Or Gung Ho was splicing. Or no, Alpine, who was splicing? Bazooka definitely is not a splicer. It must have been Gung Ho doing the splicing, I'm guessing, if I remember correctly. I had to go through the mental Rolodex of the movie. Thigh cut right there. Double jointed pinless knees. You know we're here for that. Boot cut, ankles back and forth, side to side, up and down. Ready to go with old Albert Alpine Pine. Of course, going to fit on a ringside collectible stand. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Make sure you get the Mattel stand, of course, over there. But Alpine swinging into our hearts, climbing into our hearts is what he's doing here today. A fun member of the Joe team, and original Joe when I first started watching that I really enjoyed. And one of the missing holes in my 3 3/4 collection as a little kid. And now I feel like my heart's a little bit more complete all these years later. But of course, you can't have Alpine without another good man. Old Bazooka, always love their chatter. Of course, we all have a work buddy we always go back and forth with. But at the end of the day, they got each other's back, unlike Duke and Falcon, of course, as we all know by now. But these two would be a heck of a team together. They might bicker like old married couple, but when the chips are down, they got each other's back. They're best of friends. Cool to have these guys, and of course, you got to display these guys together in your collection. I can't imagine not doing that, but you guys tell me where you're going to display old Alpine in your collection. But there it is. Albert, of course, Alpine, of course, is once again. So there it is. Bazooka and Alpine back together. Back in the saddle again. But what are your thoughts on this one? Pick up, pass, long game, no game, not so sure game. Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content over on Patreon, including early access to both YouTube channel videos. Check out the Patreon, support the channel. Plenty of bonus content over there on a daily basis. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. My book, The Complete Guide to the WWE Jakks Classic Superstars Series, available now in Kindle and, of course, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 is where you're going to find me on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for my boy Alpine, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.